Arsenal have won 11 of their 14 Premier League games against Watford. What can we expect this weekend?
But every game is different. You have a new manager, a team that needs wins, as we do. And in this league, any team can cause you a problem, can beat you, and you always have to be aware of that.
What have you made of Watford's return to the Premier League so far?
Well, that they had an incredible run last year to do what they did, and now they changed the manager. It's always difficult in this league for any team. So imagine coming from the Championship is even harder. But it's a team that has been for many years in the league. They are our neighbors. They're just next to us, and like any team, tough to beat.
Lastly, for me, any injury updates from Kieran Tierney and Granit Xhaka?
Yeah, Kieran, he's been training the last 2 days. He's feeling much better, so hopefully he will be able to be available.
Thanks, Mikel. Good luck for the weekend.
Thanks, Rebecca. We'll go to Jeremy Langdon from Sky.
Yeah, hi, Mikel. Tierney's return to fitness gives you a bit of a dilemma, doesn't it, with Tavares playing so well, and also Steve Clarke's expecting Tierney or hoping Tierney can join up with Scotland for the qualifiers. Do you think that's realistic for Tierney to play for Scotland next week?
Let's see in the next few training sessions how he's feeling. He's done bits with the team, but hasn't fully trained yet. So in the next 2 days, we will see where he is and how his fitness is.
And on the selection dilemma with Tavares, how do you see that one, Tierney and Tavares?
Hopefully we can have more of those dilemmas, and we have top players performing at the top level in many positions, because that only raises the quality, the standards, and the performance of the team.
Good news for Ramsdale yesterday, selected by England. The fans are chanting he's England's number one. He's making some incredible saves, and you're racking up the clean sheets. Is he playing like England's number one?
Well, I'm really happy for him to see him back there, and the rest is decisions that Gareth and the coaching team has to take. What I needs to do is keep performing at that level and be humble, and other decisions are done by someone else.
And Gareth didn't select Smith Rowe and White. Some Arsenal fans were surprised by that. Were you surprised by that?
Again, Gareth has to make so many difficult choices, got so many options. What I like is that our players are performing at a level that I'm sure that they are giving problems in selection to Gareth and the coaching staff, and that's what it pleases me, because I know that they have the level to do it, and it will be about the time or when the manager decides it is the right moment to select them.
Mikel, Sunday is a landmark game for you. It's 100 games in charge of Arsenal. How would you sum up the last 2 years and your 100 games in charge?
An incredible and quick journey where a lot has happened, not only at the football club but around the world. That obviously has a huge impact in everything that we lived in the last 2 years. But so privileged to be where I am, and I'm really enjoying the opportunity and the challenge that we have ahead.
And you must feel things are really coming together now, don't you?
Yes, but this is about momentum and trying to pick it up and settle those foundations that we want to give us performances and results, but as well to build the sense of unity that is building around the club, with our people, with our players, in the way we are playing, what we are transmitting, and for me this is as important.
Two final questions. It's been quite a week at Tottenham. Conte's come in. Should Arsenal fans be worried about what Conte will do with Spurs, and does Conte change the landscape of football in North London, do you think?
Well, first of all, I would like to send a message to Nuno and the coaching staff, because it's always tough to see a colleague leave their job, and Nuno is doing extremely well in this country, and he has proven to be a top manager. They have made a decision to bring somebody else. We know that he has a really successful past in the last two places that he's been, and I will see what he does here.
And it looks like Eddie Howe at Newcastle. What are your thoughts on Eddie going back to football at Newcastle?
I don't know. Till anything is announced, I can't really have an opinion on it.
Thank you so much.
We'll go to George from the BBC.
Thanks, Dan. Mikel, good morning.
Good morning.
Just on the calibre of the Premier League managers at the moment, it's just incredible, isn't it, with all these top managers in England?
It is. You cannot think about many more that are at the top of world leading managers. But I think that's incredibly positive for our league, because it raises the level, because it has new ideas, because the competition is going to be even harder. But as well, I think that we have to bear in mind that we have some really good examples with Neil Warmer, with David, what they've done in the game. For example, Neil beating the record of the longest servant in terms of games in history. David doing 1,000 games, and we cannot lose that as well, because it's very related to the history of this league, and they done so much in this game for us as well.
Do you accept though maybe top four is going to be a little bit harder for Arsenal now in the battle, now that Conte is he's in the job?
I think it's going to be for any team to be fighting for the top positions, and there's still so many games to go, and a lot of it's going to happen. You see results, performances, and how games vary from one half to other, or moments in the game. That tells you the quality that is in terms of players and managers as well.
On Emile Smith Rowe, is he gutted that he isn't in the England squad? Because it must have been very close. I just wondered how he felt and whether you had spoken to him, because I think everyone expected him to be in this one.
I think he should be happy if people are gutted or people are questioning any decision, because that tells you the level that he is playing at. And like anything has happened in Emile's career, it will come when it's the right moment, because we don't know if now is the right moment. Gareth knows much better than us to judge what he thinks about the role that he could have in that team. And if he's decided that it's not the right moment, I'm sure it was a very thoughtful process and the right decision.
Just on your 100 games, sorry, Dan, just as a manager, how much different are you as a manager now compared to your first one?
Sorry?
How much different are you as a manager now compared to your first one? What have you learned over the 100 games?
I think we all update every year like any computer, and with everything that has happened to us, even more. So, yeah, I am different. I see things different. You evolve in certain things. You learn a lot of things. I don't know. We keep evolving.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Ian from TalkSport.
Good morning, Mikel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Regarding the 100 games, I mean, you've been through so much. You've been through such a roller coaster even this season. How much experience have you gained or stand you in good stead to maybe get to 1,000 games? As you mentioned, David Moyes and Neil Warnock's achievements this week.
Well, I'm nowhere near. I would like to have their recipe to see how they've done it, to stay in the game for so long, and as well to see. I know David, the enjoyment and the passion that he still has for the game, because I work with him. In my experience, yeah, I think they are all experiences. To have experience in something doesn't mean that you have experienced certain things that have happened in that journey. But for sure, there are some necessary things that happened, and some others that there were challenges, and some others that they were just beautiful to go through. But again, as I said, I'm really enjoying the moment and the opportunity that I have ahead of me.
You mentioned Nuno leaving Spurs, Antonio Conte coming in. Their old club Barcelona still haven't managed to get themselves a new manager yet. Another elite manager has come to the Premier League this week. Does that show how far ahead now English football has gone from Spain?
I don't know. They are just different. You see that the Spanish clubs, the results that they had in the last few seasons as well, it's remarkable. I'm really happy to be where I am, enjoying this incredible league. The setup, the atmosphere, the passion, and everybody back to normality. Probably is the most competitive season that the Premier League ever had again.
Thanks, Ian.
Can I just ask a couple down? The performances in the last couple of games, especially Villa at home and Leicester away, really show that your philosophy and the project Arsenal is coming together. And yet you were saying that still top four will be very difficult this season.
I don't know how difficult it's going to be. We are going to have the aim to win every single match, and we have to have only that mentality to train better today, to be well prepared for the Watford game, go there with the right mentality, ambition, and determination to win it and move on to the next one. But we have to go game by game. In this league, you cannot try to project something. It is impossible, and I wouldn't recommend it.
And finally, the form of Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, that save last week against Leicester. How many times did you go back and look at that and think, wow, I just don't know how he's kept it out? Because you played with some very good goalkeepers.
It was sensational. And but what I liked the most as well, it was the reaction of the other teammates getting back and Thomas clearing the ball off the line. Because if he makes that save, but they end up putting the ball in the nets, he wouldn't sell for anything. So it's not about a player. It's about the team, and everybody is involved in that. And I'm happy because we prevented a big moment in the game.
Good luck on Sunday, Mikel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Mark from PA.
Morning, Mikel.
Morning.
Nuno's been sacked after a poor run at Spurs. You had a similar spell around this time last year, but obviously you kept your job. When you look at the results and the performances you're now bringing in at Arsenal, it shows that patience can sometimes work as well as having to change the manager constantly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, to make a judgment on why decisions are made, if there is only because of a result, or it's performances, or it's something else, is very difficult. I said many times that I'm grateful and privileged to work with the people that I work at the club, that we have a really clear idea of what we want to do. But again, like any other manager, at the end, you need results.
Talked about David Moyes, 1,000 games. Claudio Ranieri's got well over 1,000 games. He's just taken a new job. Can you imagine still being hungry for new jobs and new projects at the age of 70, or will you be long gone now?
That's what I said, that I need that recipe, how they've done it. As well, very interesting to understand what happened in their families, because I think they would have to have outstanding wives, kids and family around them to be able to do that for such a long time. But yeah, with David, extremely happy for him because I know him and I admire him personally, and it's great, I think, for British football to have these managers.
Everyone said you'd miss Granit, and obviously he's an important player for you, but how much credit do we have to give to Sambi Lokonga for coming into the team at a crucial time and playing so well?
Yeah, Sambi's shown a really quick adaptation, a lot of intelligence in his game, and courage. He's a player that is constantly trying to affect the game in the right way. It was a big task to ask him to play already the amount of minutes that he's done in the league in such a short time. But he's showing that he's capable of doing it, and he's handling the situation really, really impressively.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh,
Thanks.
Just one more.
Okay,
if I could, Dan. Arsenal supporters yesterday were obviously unhappy about Emile and Ben White not getting into the England squad. But for you, is there a benefit? It means you get more time training with the players. There's less travel involved. Obviously, you'd like them to play international football, but there is a benefit for club managers to have them with you, isn't there?
I don't know. I think our objective should be to prepare the players with the right mindset to have the biggest ambitions, and those should have the biggest ambition. And this is probably why as well they are performing the way they are performing, and it will come, and they have to respect those decisions and don't get any disappointment because of that, because this is a long run, and if not, it was going to affect them negatively in their performances, in the mindset state, and that's not what we want. We want completely the opposite.